There sure is a lot coming out around this article. Yesterday I did a video. A'ja Wilson named the Time Athlete of the Year, Time Magazine. Somebody did have a great question in the comments. Who reads Time these days? That's a good point. That's a hell of a point, to be quite honest with you. But it seems that Time Magazine has reverted back to its...
A'ja Wilson was completely cut. Not eased into a reduced position, not encouraged to guide younger players, not rested on the sidelines, but fully removed. One call erased the storyline of her career and sent a jolt through women's basketball, shifting the balance of power in an instant. This was not a short-term decision. It was a direct and unmistakable signal that Team USA had chosen a new direction. Years of control disappeared at once, leaving fans shocked and asking what had just unfolded. Removing a two-time Olympic gold medalist altered expectations, rearranged loyalties, and revealed long-ignored tensions that had been building beneath the surface.
That's a great honor. Congratulations to A'ja. But I'm like, what is all this ruckus about? So then we dive deep into it, and it seems like there's some paragraphs from this article that put down Caitlin Clark in order to prop up A'ja, which is crazy because if you guys remember, Caitlin Clark was Time's Sportsperson of the Year just last year. So I haven't actually gone into detail reading these. I wanted to live react to them with you. This video might be a little rambly, a little ranty, but let's jump right in.
For a long time, A'ja Wilson carried herself like her place was secure, not simply earned but guaranteed. That belief came from Olympic success, WNBA dominance, and a firm trust that reputation could outweigh momentum, team cohesion, and the changing style of the game. She organized her entire season around global competition, declining major endorsement opportunities, and reshaping her training plans. She spoke openly as though her selection was automatic. That confidence, however, became her greatest weakness, opening the door to a harsh awakening from the very system she relied on.
Now, A'ja Wilson, she got to get this award. And somehow, some way, nothing can ever be done involving A'ja Wilson without either Time Magazine or the sports media using Caitlin Clark's name to get everybody riled up, because they called Caitlin Clark's fans toxic, racial, divisive, yada, yada, yada. In other words, used an article to crap on you guys. You, the Caitlin.
What shocked those closest to her was not only the decision, but how predictable it appeared afterward. While A'ja operated with a sense of entitlement, Team USA basketball was quietly planning using numbers and evidence. They studied chemistry evaluations, reviewed media influence, and relied on a long memory of previous issues. Information had been gathered step by step, forming a clear case that supported a cold and unexpected shift away from a familiar veteran. This was never a spur-of-the-moment choice, but a deliberate plan.
Y'all are from the Nat. As of this moment, the Pacers are up 2-1 in the finals. Has there been anything that surprised you so far in the series? Obviously, Oklahoma City was the best team in the NBA all year, but right now they're not looking like themselves.
What surprised me is just it being the Pacers in the finals.
We aligned in that, brother. I didn't see that coming.
Right.
Okay, well, are y'all fans of the W? We also have the Fever in Indiana as well. What do y'all make of Caitlin Clark's?
The early signs were subtle. A'ja often talked about honoring the grind and veterans being passed over, complaining about how quickly narratives change. Her words were polished enough to avoid open conflict, yet the pattern was clear. It was a quiet resistance aimed at the sport's rising new star. Those carefully framed remarks, always close to respectful, gradually weakened team harmony and introduced discomfort. In trying to undercut a rival, she unintentionally created the division that Team USA would later reject.
The year last year, and in that article she was asked multiple times about these narratives around Caitlin and the racial divide that happens in America, and specifically around women's basketball. It has gotten so insane, and she has denounced it so many times. She said it in the Times article that she doesn't want her name to be used for these different negative and divisive things that it's used for. And the fact that Time Magazine named her Sportsperson of the Year in 2024 and then in 2025 turn around and put something like this in an article, by the way, you guys, that is supposed to prop up.
As Caitlin Clark's visibility surged, A'ja's tone became noticeably sharper. She focused on shooting numbers while conveniently overlooking assist impact. She reduced Clark's influence by limiting success to hand-picked statistics. Time after time, she redirected praise away from Clark's clear effect and toward unnamed veterans she felt were more deserving. Each achievement by Clark seemed to spark another adjustment from Asia, meant to minimize its weight and restore her own sense of control. Team USA took notice of this pattern.
Yeah, this is not a video that I want to ever have to make. It's not a great video, and it's just unfortunately again something that has to be talked about, because, and by the way, this is something that I would love to kind of not bring up ever, because this is a topic that isn't basketball, and at the end of the day I would much rather be talking about Team USA camp in a positive light.
Team USA basketball did more than observe. They kept detailed records. The final decision did not stem from one remark or a single interview. Instead, internal worries slowly reached a tipping point. Players began to wonder if future camps would feel tense if leadership was aligned, and if growing friction would hurt results on the global stage. For an organization that values chemistry above all, this risk could not be tolerated. Their pursuit of championships was too important.
Wilson hit the game winner with 2.2 seconds left on the clock. Her number's 22, so the stars aligned for Asia, and she hit this shot over Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner. This play was drawn up with 5 seconds left on the clock. So the Aces had the ball. There was about 20 seconds left on the clock. They're dribbling around, nothing's happening, and Coach Becky Hammon calls a timeout with 5 seconds left on the clock. And I remember in my head thinking, this is the perfect scenario for the Aces. 5 seconds is almost the perfect amount of time to make a play happen, because if you do...
Asia's agent rushed to make sense of how a two-time Olympic gold medal winner could be excluded from the roster, especially when it featured a player with 0 World Cup experience. But the explanation had already been clearly laid out over 2 long years through Asia's own public actions. Team USA basketball did not view her as a misunderstood veteran deserving patience. They saw a repeated and visible pattern of division, and a once trusted leader unable to exist alongside the sport's fastest rising force. The choice was firm, direct, and supported by clear proof.
Neither have I.
I actually went to the WNBA All-Star.
I went to a game once
last year. That was dope.
Fellas, y'all gotta tap in, man. It's good hoop. It's good hoop. See, now you should get a reaction video from watching the WNBA game and being blown away by the skills, athleticism, and efficiency of WNBA basketball.
As Asia was still processing the shock of her historic removal, another call was being made, and the contrast could not have been sharper. Caitlin Clark was not simply added to the roster. She was effectively handed control of the program. Clark was named the starting point guard, the offensive centerpiece, and the unquestioned public face of Team USA, heading into the vital 2026 World Cup. This was not a response to sudden hype, but the final step of months of careful internal planning, a true passing of the torch.
We're going to watch like a layup compilation.
You already started something. I want to see when they start.
Team USA basketball had already structured its entire future vision around Caitlin Clark's distinctive style of play. They emphasized her unmatched on-court pull, her elite control of tempo, and her rare ability to raise the level of teammates even when her own shot was off. Analysts closely studied how defenses bent around her presence, how her positioning opened space for others, and how her decisions translated perfectly to strict international rules. Clark had evolved beyond being just a player. She had become essential structure.
A'ja Wilson is the GOAT of the WNBA.
Cat, Maya Moore is. And I think people will have to understand, yeah, Asia got 3 chips, but guess who got 4? Maya Moore. She did it every other year. She did it in 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017. So that was a dynasty era. And Maya Moore retired early. She did this in a short career span. That last one was what, 2017? That's not that long ago.
Let's pop it for Asia, man. When you talk about the defensive player of the year, she has multiples of those. She has multiple MVP.
Caitlin Clark's growing endorsement reach only reinforced that reality. With international campaigns already active, and expanding Team USA basketball understood that her representation offered more than a competitive edge. It provided unmatched cultural influence. She carried the ability to take American women's basketball into markets it had never fully reached. And she did so without controversy, resentment, or entitlement. She became the clear magnetic figure the sport urgently needed, connecting with fans everywhere.
But at the end of the day, this is something that I feel like the reason why I feel like I have to talk about this is because of when this happened a year ago, the way certain prominent media members reacted. These are media members that are being pushed by the league. These are media members that no matter what will be given credentials by the league. The way they blamed Caitlin Clark for the situation, they somehow used this as some sort of gotcha against Caitlin Clark, just because they didn't even...
What ultimately finalized the decision for Team USA was not just production or global visibility. It was Clark's reaction when she received the call. She did not ask about status, question the pressure, or seek assurances about her role. Her first response was simple and selfless, asking how she could help the team win. That single moment validated every strategic decision they had made and perfectly defined the leadership traits they now valued most. It was a powerful realization. The difference in how the two players responded told Team USA Basketball everything about leadership in this new era. One player, AJ, appeared to see the team as a stage for personal affirmation and status reinforcement. The other, Caitlin Clark, viewed it as responsibility and service to something larger. That contrast marked a deep organizational shift. Legacy alone no longer mattered. Unity, flexibility, and global impact now came first. Team USA chose momentum over nostalgia and cohesion over rank. In international play, there is no extra room for privilege. Physical play is punished, fouls pile up quickly, and reputation offers no protection. A style built on force often turns into foul trouble instead of scoring. This harsh setting exposed the gap between playing styles and revealed who was truly suited for the world stage. Clark's game flourishes in that environment. She depends on spacing, timing, vision, and decision-making, not on officiating leniency. Even when her shot dips, defenders cannot leave her, and her presence reshapes the floor instantly. She functions as a system on her own, adaptable to any rule set. From Team USA's view, this was not about raw talent alone, but about selecting players built specifically for global competition. Aya Wilson represented a physical approach that benefited from protection under looser rules, while Clark embodied a skill-driven style that needed none. That difference became decisive and sent a message across the league. Teams, brands, and international evaluators now prioritize unity, leadership, energy, and fit within team-first systems. Aya's achievements were never questioned, but her approach was. Clark's rise without retaliation or bitterness showed that sustained excellence paired with composure cannot be diminished. Negativity eventually reflects back on its source. International basketball has no time for internal drama. There are titles to win and audiences to reach. Organizations now want players who lift the game, not their own ego. A'ja Wilson believed her legacy shielded her from accountability, and Team USA strongly disagreed. Removing her while elevating Clark was not reactionary or disrespectful. It was a calculated move showing where the sport is going. The future belongs to players who understand that raising the game raises everyone. Clark represents that shift with every action. This decision did more than change a roster. It reset what leadership means in a rapidly expanding global sport. For years, veteran status protected players from scrutiny, even as the game evolved. That era ended the moment Aya Wilson's name was left off the list. Team USA did not argue publicly or stir debate. They acted decisively and quietly. In elite programs, action speaks loudest. Internally, the message was clear. They wanted leaders who moved the sport forward without tearing others down. Clark fit that vision naturally. Her rise came from performance, not entitlement. Attention followed her because she earned it. Team USA made its direction obvious: growth over grievance, opportunity over obstruction, and leadership that lifts everyone. Aya believed her place was permanent. Clark earned hers by never assuming anything was guaranteed. That difference defines why one now leads on the global stage while the other watches the game move on.